Okay, welcome back. So the question, maybe if you didn't understand the question, we have an array here and you use push method and loop together and then you reverse it. The result will be something like this. Yeah, because so how do we do for loop? Maybe I have to const empty array. Let me just create an array, or I just call it just array. It's empty array, right? Because someone told me we don't know how to push item. If you push item, for instance, console.log here, we don't have anything. As you can see, it's empty. But here, if you console.log and if you check array, you have one item. Just let's say item 1. And again, array.push item, item 2. Yeah, why? Because I didn't print it out yet. Console.log item, not item actually, array. Then if you see, I will have 2 items. So it's just push, push, push. But the point is, how do we do it with a loop? So for let I is equal to 0 and I is less than, for instance, 5. I think it may it may break my browser or my, let me show you something like this. So for instance, I may put, I have this array, and if I do array.push, and if I do this something, I am pushing the value .load I am printing out now and then because it's good. As you can see from line 86, I am printing from 0 to 4. Maybe if I want, I can go up to 6. Yes, instead of just printing them out, I can also push them. So I don't need to print out. Now to see what I have in here, what do you expect in the array now? In the AR, this. What do you expect? Have you seen? I stored them. So if I ask you, for instance, an array which has 100 numbers. Yeah, so easy. Oh yeah. Maybe only even numbers. If I told you even numbers, you may put it something like this. Yeah, because I am adding 2 every time. 0, 2, 4. So only even numbers. And maybe if I ask you only also odd numbers, it's going to be actually, so I can actually, odd numbers, I can start it from 1. If I start from 1 and if I'm adding 2, it's going to be also odd numbers. So easy technique to generate. Now, this is not what I asked you actually. What I asked you is actually to reverse this. Okay, now you know how to do this. I will leave this one also. For let I is equal to 5, I less than or equal to 0, and I minus minus console.log I. Why? I have to. I is equal to 5, and I should see something from this line. I have to 5. Yeah, it's not less than, guys. It should be less than or equal to. Yeah, sorry. Now have you seen I reverse? I'm reversing from 5 to 0 the other direction. So now I have to create an empty array, const new array empty, and I have this one. This I can get this down maybe to make. So the plan is, so to reverse this, if I do new array, and if I put, what is this, 5, but it doesn't start from 5, right? It starts 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it should be 4. And then now if you see, sorry, dot push and it should be 4. Actually just I instead, just I can put I this. Let me remove this and console.log new array. I think I'm a bit faster. I will repeat this again and I will. Have you seen the reversed one here? So I managed to reverse this, but actually sometimes you never know the length of the array. So what we should do, instead of putting something like this number, so we have to get the number of this. So we can say nums dot length. Yeah, nums dot length. And then we have to slice out, instead of just push like this. First we have to do, I will show you, console.log nums dot I. What do we get? As you can see, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm getting this value. But as you can see, one of the, it's undefined because it so it should be -1 because it's not the length, but it should be -1. Now I don't see anything. Now it's time to print out the value. So let value is equal to nums I. So if you console.log this value every time, as you can see, value from 93, 5, because this one is also doing the same thing, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now we can push this value to our new array dot push to a value. Have you seen? Now it works. So this actually works. If you want to reverse also the names list, for instance, it's just copy this code. What you should do actually, instead students, and then value, you change this one to students, and then you have to create const new students, an empty array, new students. And if you console.log new students, as you can see, Maisa now is the first and Sofia is the last. So now we design the system how to reverse. Do you think it's reversed this? Yeah, let's check it. Now, Sophia, next to Sophia, it's Mark. Sophia, Mark. And the other side, Maisa, Hesi. Okay, great. Do you have any question?
Maybe one question. It's regarding the constant. Kind of surprising that, I mean, surprising, maybe not, that you declare it as a constant, but then you can still modify it, in the loop. So basically, as long as it's not initialized, then you can still put a value.
Yes.
So that's interesting.
Yes, because that's how it works. Because this is an object. Array is an object. It's because it is accessed by reference.
Okay. So basically, the reference is constant. So the address basically where. Okay.
Yes. The whole address of the object is the same, but we are modifying by index that
okay.
so it's not, we are not changing the whole reference.
It's quite that could be prone to error, because we may think that new student will not be modified, but actually, its content could be modified, but not the actual address of that particular constant. Okay.
Yes. So the rule of thumb, use let for data which changes, const for constant value. For instance, gravity, right? Pi. Gravity, pi. Boiling body temperature, boiling point of water, or something like this. All those physical constants and chemical constants, all those will remain the same, like they don't change. And also also array, object, function. When you declare this, also use const. Rule of thumb. That's very good. Now I think let's force you to move on to while loop. We use a for loop when we know where to start and where to end. So we know how long to run, but while, if something is true, it just runs. But it's also possible to convert for loop to while loop to for loop. So now let's convert or generate 0 to 5 using while loop. So to write while loop, you use while and then the condition and then curly bracket. So you declare let because this never ending, it crash. Definitely when you are using while loop, it may crash. So let I is equal to 0 and okay, I can use this. After I finish, I want to remove the comment, let I is equal to 0 and unit while I is less than 6, do something. And we have to increment every time. So I plus plus console, do something here, do something. And now I can remove this because I'm sure it doesn't. As you can see, do something how many times? 6 times, because it starts from 0 up to 5. And I can print do something 0, 1, 2. Yeah. If you want to put it const, and if you want XYZ, don't do something XYZ. and push it to xyz dot push the number. And if you want to have what you console dot log in xyz, we did actually this. And you can even push them like this times, as you can see, you have this. But as I told you, don't use such kind of silly names. I can say squares, maybe squares. Yeah, so good. This is while. For instance, if you want to run a loop which runs forever, change this to true. If I just write true, it will be infinite loop. Infinite loop means it just executes all the time. Okay, now let's move on to do while loop. This loop is not a very important loop, but it's good to know about it. And you don't have to use all the loops. Some of the loops. Okay, do. This is how you write. And then you put something. And then while. So let's do the same this one. Let j is equal to 0. Then console.log j. And then I can say j plus plus while j is less than 6. Have you seen? I managed to print out from 0 to 5. But this one actually, this code, like do while, it runs without checking at least once. Let's change this condition to 0. Have you seen it printed out 0? So it executes the 0 and finally it checks here. But the while, it checks everything first. So the difference between do while and while, do while executes the first line, the first time without checking, and it checks later. As you can see, 0 is not less than 0. Even you can change this one to -5 actually. Yeah. J is not less than -5, but actually it executes once and check. So that's the difference between that. And now let's move on to for off. For off. You will love this one, for off, because it was introduced recently and it is so easy to use it. And actually for off, you use it only with array. Do you remember your shopping cart? So how you write it actually? For const item of shopping cart. And then this is how you write it. So easy. Then you print the items. Console.log item. Have you seen? Yeah, so nice. And you change it to upper case. Yes. Let's do more example. For const name of students. And even instead of name, most of the time it's good to say student of student. one of, like when you say const student of students, and then console.log student dot upper to uppercase. Look at them: Sophia, Mark, Julie, Anna, Yuda, Kati, and the list goes on. So this for off is so easy, right? Yes. What do you think? And of course, if you have also numbers, for instance, honest numbers, do I have already somewhere? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then what you say for honest number of numbers. Yes, like this. Then console.log number. Print out the number. If you want to multiply it, you can multiply it. For instance, you can make it square if you want. As you can see, 1, 4. Yeah. Are you following what I'm doing, or am I just enjoying myself doing the thing I do?
Yes, following.
Good. Yeah, type something. Type 1 if you are on track, or if you are just dazzled. Type 1 if you are on track what we've been doing. Okay. See, Julia. How about oh, dazzled and fully dazzled. Oops, mostly following. Okay, no, okay, not bad. Okay. 0. Okay. 1, 1. Okay, this is very good, to know where you are. Okay, don't be. What I'm doing actually is, if you get like, yeah, lost completely, don't blame yourself. Don't also blame me. It's like that the first time, okay? Oh yeah, I will create one GitHub repo, and everything what we wrote, and even I will give it some comment, and it will be there, okay? Then it will follow. Yeah. Before I forget, even I can just put it here. So it will be publicly available for everyone. Modern JavaScript. I think for you and for me, it's a very good modern JavaScript MJ 2020. I will just create a repo here. Yes. Then I think you will get everything here. Maybe I will share with you here. After the lesson, everything will be there, okay? And also on Telegram, source code. Great. So let's move on. And this is how, especially this for off is so easy to use whenever you have arrays. As you can see, I managed to modify so easily. But if I have to write a regular for loop, I have to write it, for instance, this way, or this way when I was greeting every student, if you remember. Yeah. I think it seems we have finished all the loops. Where are we? Loops. So who could remind me the loops we have learned so far? We covered for, regular for, and then while, do while, and then for off. We can cover also for in, and I think it's not good to write capital for in and for each, but it doesn't make sense now teaching you because for in is meant for object, for each is meant for array, but it's a higher order function. I should first teach you function. So I think we finished loops and we will come to this one later. Great. So shall we move on to function? What do you think? Who is up for function? Yes, if you learn functions, that means you're somewhere, you're like almost somewhere in the middle of programming. I want someone to come to the mic and tell me what is a function. Imagine you are telling that for someone who is like 6 years old or maybe 7 years old. What's a function? Yeah, I'm waiting for you.
Well, I can give it a try. Basically, it's a set of instructions grouped together to realize a function. So basically, it's to be able to call a set of instruction whenever we want. Sometimes we can pass some parameter in order to be able to alter or to change the behavior of the instructions.
Okay, good, good. That's true. Can you make it more easy to understand for everyone? Because someone might not know what's a parameter, what's argument, and all those kind of things. Yes, that's a very good explanation. Just you can imagine a calculator, right? What's the purpose of a calculator? To calculate, right? Just to add numbers or subtract numbers. So the purpose or the function of a calculator is just to do some arithmetics. It could be addition or multiplication or division or all those the arithmetic operators we covered last week. It's like, what's the purpose of a chair? Yeah, just to sit on, right? That's a function. Yeah. What's the purpose of a driving wheel? Yeah, just to change direction. So whenever you come across with the term a function, what you should answer is like the purpose, what action is supposed to be done. Yeah. So you may see, for instance, the purpose of, yeah, the purpose of this function. What's the purpose of this function? Copy. It copied something, it hold it, and then again, I have to paste. So you have seen that copy and paste function now. Have you noticed what I did? Oh, no one see? show me something on the chat so I can see you, then it would be easy for me to. Yeah, I am just clicking on here. Have you seen these different functions? These are actually different features and functions of this VS Code. For instance, the cut function, the copy function, these are separate functions. This function may have a set of functions even inside. So whenever we say function, actually it shows that purpose or action of to do something. Yeah, so let's do. So to write a function, we need the word function. It's a reserved word. Yeah, of course, for, if, let, const, all those are reserved words. Those which we use, for instance, let, const, var, if, for, function, else, break, continue. All these are reserved words. By the way, before I start function, also, I didn't tell you that a break statement. For instance, let's imagine we are looking for 5 here in this function. I mean, in this, actually, we can write if number is equal to 5, we can break by saying console.log, we found it, and we can write this statement break. So we can, have you seen we found it? I can, yeah, but 5 is at the end. Let's just stop it at 2 or 3. Have you seen it goes up to 3 and it break at 3. So we can use break. And if I want to continue, for instance, I don't like to execute at 3, but if I want to continue, I can say continue. So instead of found it, just you can leave it. So as you can see now, 1, 2, because there is execution. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this should be inside. Yeah, have you seen now? The way I wrote it is different. 1, 2. When it reaches 3, it skip 3 and continue to 4. So remember also to use continue and break. Break is like we don't allow the loop to go to the end. We can break it at any point we want. For instance, another more example, const countries. I like countries, Finland, Estonia, and here Sweden, and Norway. Okay, point 4. This one is easy. Const country of countries. If you see array, go for this 4 of. It's fancy and it's easy to write the code. It's elegant. Now, if, for instance, country includes land, continue, and console.log country. I'm now systematically, what is that? What's wrong here? It's closed here. Maybe 146.
The if
Additional.
bracket is,
Yes. As you can see now, systematically we skip Finland. That how maybe let's skip maybe Norway. For instance, Norway has way. As you can see, Finland, Estonia, and Sweden. Okay, let's skip Estonia, maybe a country containing IA in the end. Or I can just skip Sweden by writing the whole Sweden. I can write it the whole Sweden, or by containing IA. By the way, IA, like Finland, Estonia, another country ending with, I think, yeah, area. As if you see that, those, yeah, containing removed, as you can see. Okay, now if we change this to, yeah, you got the point. But if we want to break, actually, let's copy. If the country is for instance, Sweden, we can break because we're looking for Sweden. So it goes from Finland, Sweden, I think Finland, Estonia, Ethiopia, and Eritrea. And then when it reaches Sweden, it stops. And it goes to, yeah, because no, it didn't stop actually. What it does is actually the same. So I have to break to stop it. Yeah, then it stops. I think you got the concept. So it's not, now I have covered this break and continue. Let's get back to function. Function, you need the reserved word function, and you need name of the function, name of the function. And then you need curly, like this parenthesis, and then this one, block quote, console.log, I am a function. Have you seen? This is the function. Then you call the function, name of the function. So you have to, I am a function, to call the function, because first you declare, this is declaring a function, declaring a function. And then here is calling the function. Great. So name of the function, as you can see, it should follow camel case. It should start with small, uppercase, uppercase, uppercase. Yeah, it's the same as variable. Now, you know how to make it, but our function name is ugly. So ugly, but it's meant for demonstration. So now let's do function add two numbers. Yes. Okay, let a is equal to 3 and let b is equal to 2. And sum, let sum is equal to a plus b. Is it clear so far? This is what I'm doing here inside the function. I want to know someone who doesn't know what I'm doing this one. If this should be clear for everyone, right? Because I declare let a b and then I add. This should be. Then console.log sum. So I have to call this function. How do I call it? Add two numbers. So you may expect 5. If I change this to 30 and 20, you should expect 50, right? Yeah. But, you know, function should take parameters, you know? What do I mean by parameters? Maybe I think I have to show something. I think, where is this? Annotate. I'm not very good at drawing, but I will try to show something. Okay. Yes, okay. Let's have this. And we have something output actually. This is our output. No, I want to write. I have A. And I have B. And the operator here is plus. I think I should change the color. Maybe another color. I've never used it for. Yeah, maybe it's okay. So as you can see, this emission. So this mission takes two parameters, A and B. And the mission gives us the sum of this. So if A is 30 and B is 20, what do you get here? I need an answer. Yes, that's great. So our mission, just simulate this example, okay? Simulate this example. This is very elementary example, but this is how function works. Now let's change the name of our function. And if we change this to minus, so what will be the result here? I'm expecting answer from the comment. So now let's change this to subtraction. And what will be? A is 30, B is 20, okay? So the answer is going to be 10. How about if we change this to multiplication? Yes, it's going to be 600. And how about if we change this to division? Yes, 1.5. So you got it. So now if you got this drawing, I think you are in a good shape. Let me remove my drawing, my ugly drawing, and let's change this. So instead of doing this, how about if we put A here then, and then B here? So we don't need this. Have you seen? We don't need it there. Now we can pass here actually 20 and 30. Have you? Yeah. Now even we can call it many times. So what is the sum of 1 and 9? Everybody knows. It's 10. What is the sum of 100 and 900, 1000. The reason why I'm giving you easy numbers is because it's easy to know, right? You don't have to use calculator to realize. How about if we add 2.5 and 1.5? It's going to be 4. Great. So we did this. But now I want you also, instead of printing it like this, I want you to return the value, return sum, and we don't need this one, return the value. So I think we don't see value if we are returning, so the value is actually stored in this function, so we have to print it out, console.log print this value. Yes, as you can see, 50. So I have to also print this one, console.log, and print, and do the same. So, yeah. So now even you don't even need this. Even you can just return it here. Just return something like this. Yeah. Now, even you can change this function to an row function, like you don't need something like this. Maybe I can comment it out. Comment out there, and no, I think I can just copy, and a row function is now ES6, the latest version. You don't need the word function honest, and what you need is actually this and an row, and still works the same. This is clean, right? So neat. Even if you don't have just much or lots of things inside the curly bracket, if you just have one line, you can just explicitly return it. So this will be returned, and this is your function. Yes, have you seen? It looks clean. Now let's do another function again. Function, another example. Function print full name. Print full name. It takes first name and last name. Yes. So then full name, let full name is equal to first name plus space, as we did last time, and last name, and we return the full name. Now console.log print full name. I know my name. I have to pass as an argument my first name and last name. As you can see, I printed out. Let's do more. Console.log. Let's be more political. Term. Yes. And we can go more. No. Console.log. Great. Is it easy? If we want to change this to an arrow function, by the way, you can write arrow function or a regular function this the old way, it doesn't matter. So if you want to change it to an arrow function, we can just add here equal sign and an arrow. Since we don't have much thing going on here, we can still make this much, but I think I should also comment out because the previous code might be easy for some people to read, so I have to have both. So copy, duplicate, and comment it out. And another raw version of this honest. Just an arrow function is the latest way of writing. Both are okay. If you write it with a function declaration or a raw function, is okay. So this is just, we don't need it, and we don't need this even because it's just one liner. We can just make it like this in one line, if you see it. Yeah, good. What do you think? Do you have any question? Let's do another function. Function square of number. Square of number. It takes a number, and what it does actually, square of a number is like let square num times num, or like this, and you return square. Now let's see. Console.log square of number. One square is going to be 1, of course, that is easy. Console.log square of a number, and if we 3 is 9, and that's known. And I think instead of copy and change the value, let's 10, everybody knows, and 4 is 16. Yeah. If I ask you to change this to maybe an arrow function, copy and comment out. This is so easy. So you just use const square, and you need bracket here, and just put it here. You can leave it like this, but you can even make it more simpler and lighter by remove everything. And what you need is actually this. Yeah, this looks neat. Okay, now your task is going to be, I want you sum of all nums in a oh, sorry guys. I want you to write a function which reverse an array. Write a function which reverse an array. Actually, you have already the code, so function, the name of the function is called reverse array, because it should be, what does it take? It takes an array, and then I have to take the previous code we write, and I have to put it inside. Which one is it? So if you remember, I wrote somewhere inside the loop, we've been reversing. Yeah, I think it's somewhere around. Yes, it's somewhere around. So this one, we can customize this. I take it here. So, yeah. So instead of new students, I call it a very generic new array, because it should be generic. For let students.length. Now, instead of students, it should be from array. It's coming from here, array. And then this value, it's okay. Then this one also array. This is going to be also new array. and this value is okay. Now I think we finished, but we have to return. What do we return? We should return this one, the new array. I think this will be the last example. And now let us see, do we have country somewhere? I think we create some country and I want to reverse that. I thought we created, yes. Have you seen? We have created, yes. Okay, maybe we can have Denmark is the last country and Finland is, so when we reverse it, Denmark will be the first country. Okay. So look, reverse array and countries. Have you seen? Denmark is the first and Finland is the last. Great. Yeah, so we wrote our function. So as you can see, a function is a way to wrap your code together. After this, once if you write your function, you call this function and you use it. So it's easy to write clean code and to make your code reusable. Yeah, maintainable, reusable code. That's the purpose of function. I think we have covered quite a lot of topics today. Don't be overwhelmed. Don't be really afraid by the topics we have covered because it sinks slowly, step by step. And we have similar materials on 30 days of JavaScript and also on JavaScript for everyone. In addition, it's recorded, you get everything, you can repeat, go through each and every step. I think with that, it will make sense. I will leave time for a question. I will stop the recording.